Everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tube, or welcome back if this is your 10th and final Doom Patrol Season 3 episode review at the end of another Doom Patrol season. And also for me, I haven't honestly recorded a What's in the Tube since Sunday, since I strategically recorded. So this week in the first half, it was so hilariously lucky that we had a few things already in the can, so I was able to take a little bit of a mental break. I had some other things to do with my personal life, which I'm happy to do, but I'm back. I'm doing this back full time. Kind of also kind of funny because the week afterwards, a couple of our shows are going to go off the air for Thanksgiving break, so that will be another mental break for me to get. So holidays are coming, so we're winding down a little bit. The craziness that was the congestion of end of October to the beginning of November is kind of letting up right now. We still have a ton of stuff to record before the year's end, but otherwise it's been a very crazy couple past days for me. It's been also very great for me. I can't say much beyond that. I'm being very vague as always, but here we are, the end of another Doom Patrol season. It's been fun. It's been a very fun ride. I think overall, getting into just the boiled down version of this finale, honestly, from a finale, like, big battle standpoint, you're going to feel let down. But at the same time, I feel like the ending kind of made sense. I mean, this season was very weird, in my opinion, I think. I'll get to more of that when we talk about the Season 3 review in a couple weeks, overall speaking. But for me, honestly, as much as I liked every episode for itself, I feel like I have to take a little bit of time to really think about it, because this finale, it made sense from a certain story point from its villains. It did not. But then again, ever since Mr. Nobody, it's been hard for them to really do a proper follow-up antagonist to them that actually tested them in a way. So, but overall speaking, I think this ends off the season really well. It gives us a lot of potential where to go with Season 4 when we do come back next year. Hopefully, barring any sort of more delays or anything. But for me, mostly, this definitely feels like the true closing of one chapter in the story. And where Season 4 is going to go is definitely interesting. And this definitely kind of sets a really interesting place to where a fourth season might follow. But for now, in terms of just this finale, it definitely it was mostly just wrapping up a couple of loose ends, and as well as starting new things for them to explore as we progress forward in the season. So that being said, let's go for the Butcher Recap and talk about the finale for Doom Patrol Season 3. So we begin with... I completely forgot where we began. I want to say we get a recap for the entire season. I want to say that. I'm only just dragging it because I'm trying to remember what the hell happened. I could just rewind it. The remote's right there. It's just I kind of don't want to, in my opinion, if that makes any sort of sense. I'm trying to remember. Do we frackety frack? Damn. I'm really. Do we just pick up with last? Yeah, we do. So we picked up with the bus wreck last week. The group's getting together, but sadly, Larry's egg cracked, and now it's beginning. It is like a mini negative spirit. So it starts it's shocking Larry a bit, probably because it's angry that its cocoon was opened too soon. Jane fully comes back. Cave's no longer behind. Well, is it? Yeah, it was Cave last time. It's Jane. Is it Jane? I forgot. But what's it going on? Well, I already lost track of this. I apologize. It's been a while since I recorded, which I mean only 3 days. But when you do this constantly like I used to do, and I'm going to be honest with you, so we'll go back to the Butcher Recap and just want to go on this brief parallel for a second. As much as I love doing What's in the Tube, there was a point where I was getting a little tired. Because when you do something for so long and then it starts becoming not formulaic, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that as you continue going through the motions, we're currently not doing any new shows. We haven't done a new show since Heels. And I feel like since Heels has ended for me, I've been kind of okay, we're back to Walker, we're back to Doom Patrol, we're back to Stargirl. So it's great to continue those storylines and keep seeing what they want to do with those characters and where they want to build the story next. But for me, it's I kind of got into an expectation like, oh, this is what I want to see because I predicted it, and then I kind of get it and I kind of evaluate it. But then there's a part of me that's like, I want to see something new. Like, I don't know. Well, okay, side tangent over. Let's go back to the show. So Rita wants to rally the troops, continue their forefront to the Brotherhood down in Florida. But Larry is concerned for his baby since, the baby's cracked and everything, so he's got to go back to the man to take care of it. So Victor's finally realized, yeah, I'm not Cyborg anymore. Like, I'm literally not in a fighting condition right now to be fighting a giant-ass gorilla and a smart-ass brain, who's now inadvertently stuck in Cliff's body. So, with that being said, yeah, so that's currently out for them. And Jane is kind of like, she's not in fighting condition. Like, majority of her personalities of the personalities are gone. So, there really isn't anything for them to use power base. And Rita's the only one left. So, Rita goes off single-handedly while everyone else heads back to the manor. Back in Florida, the evil brain has taken over Cliff's body and is now like, kind of like being like the hot shot, like, the old shot grandpa on the retirement home feud. And I'm just thinking to myself, how the heck did this community pass an evil brain and a gorilla to be tenants here? Like, just how and why? So he's off living big. He's off living his life. He's living the good old days. The gorilla is currently debating what to do with Madame Roger and Cliff's brain. He's debating because he's not fully evil. Like, he has a compassion, but he's debating like, should I kill them? Should I just throw them off the cliff? Like, I'm debating here. Madame Roger kind of gets under his skin a little bit. He decides to just leave them alone, like, and just like, I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm too old for this shit. I'm out of here. But however, Madame Roger having no physical strength, physical powers, she's kind of trapped in this gurney, and she accidentally drops Larry into the down the mountain, which also inadvertently leads them to a robot remains. We'll just leave it at that. Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Do we get back to the manor, or we're still continuing Rita's journey? I know we got a scene where Madame Roger returns back to the Sisterhood Dada's, like, their original hiding spot in the facility. And, just not having like the actual what's the terminology? The actual regret that she did this to people that she once called her family, and the fact that, all these years later she's alone. Like, no matter what, the Sisterhood hate her right now, and the Doom Patrol don't even like her, so she's really alone right now. Like, she traveled to the future, and now she's just really alone, because now in the timeline she has no real involvement in the past. So she's stranded here. But thankfully on her end, she does find the time machine that Rita supposedly said, like, there's no more time machine. You'll never find it. She hides it back in the Sisterhood Dada location. Rita, you should really work on your quotes before you say them. So anyway, we head back to the manor. I know at some point during the trip, the negative baby gets inside Cyborg because it needs to live off something, and since Larry needs to be back in his containment field before he's able to take off his bandages. So it's a bit of a struggle for them. As remember, they're Sans bus right now, so they're really up against the bandwagon here. So anyway, they continue onwards. They get back to the manor. They open up Larry's wounds, and also, yeah, I forgot. So how they get back is that there's a fog. The fog lady from the Sisterhood Dada comes in to kind of escort them back home, and also letting Rita know that the Flattress, while it didn't work for the success of killing Roger and getting the confession they needed out of her, they were able to finally get the progress in Human B, which is kind of like just like teasing, like, what does it mean? Like, probably we'll get to see more of this next season. Again, this, like any season finale for any TV show, you leave breadcrumbs for them to, like, really pick it up down the line from when they do come back to writing the next season, which I'm pretty sure they've already been doing right now. I want to say, yeah, so they're going for the fog, and it turns out the personalities in Kay's brain they escaped through the fog. Like, so the fog lady allowed them to leave the brain, so which explained why there was no personalities anymore, because they just all left. So Jane talks to the I want to say Metalhead is her name. I could be wrong. About why'd you leave? Why'd you do this? And you know, they all explain like it's the that other lady, the psychiatrist lady. She's kind of like the new de facto leader, so they're just kind of following her. And her recommendation was like, what the fuck? We can go anywhere. We can be ourselves. We don't have to listen to Kay anymore. Which is true, but Jane, understanding what Kay, you know, really needs right now, she needs all her personalities back. So Jane is trying her best to convince at least this the leader head now, like, can you please, let's go back. But before we get to that, Negative Man does return back to his room. He opens up his bandages and allows the negative baby to go inside him, and it knocks him out. Of course, it's going to take him a while for him to accustom to this new entity again. I know Jane is talking with the patriarch, this leader, about like trying to like come up with some agreement for them to come back, and it doesn't seem like it's easy. It doesn't seem like it's something that's willing to be worked upon right now. But however, that what makes this really a little bit more is like whenever season 3 you're bound to make, what is the ultimate play? What is the ultimate game changer you can make for these characters going into like kind of like a fresh new beginning sort of thing? Because Victor is no longer a cyborg. And Cliff is without a body so far, and Larry has a new negative baby in his body. Jane makes a play, and we'll get to more of that later, but she does finally successfully to convince them to go back into Kay's body. Meanwhile, Rita does make it to Florida, and via the power of... No, wait, Rita doesn't get there yet. Madame Roger, actually... I completely forgot the best scene. Madame Roger, turns out she and Larry found the remains to an old giant-ass robot. For some... Buried in the middle of the mountains, like that. Like I'm not gonna say the obvious thing. We're at the end of the season here, but so they put Cliff in the old robot's body, and now he and Madame Roger are kind of piloting the robot. But eventually, Cliff kind of does take over once Madame Roger just really wants to kill him. And Cliff is like, no, let's not kill him. We can be better than this. We don't have to do this. So Cliff's slowly gaining a conscious, well, gaining an actual, like, you know, perspective of things here, not just, like, you know, saying fucking shit all the time. Well, he still does, but you know what I mean. So Cliff takes over, but however, Cliff's priorities have shifted. He's not really caring about his old body, but he has this new amazing body that can't really be stopped right now for some reason. So he decides to head all the way over back to upstate, up the East Coast. In which at some point Madame Roger does, you know, get ditched by him, so he continues onward. Rita does eventually run into the evil brain, and it turns out the gorilla actually just left, you know, the complex. He left the resort. He's on his own now. He's officially retired from the retired life. Which I'm like, damn, how much work you have to put in your retired life to say, I want to retire from my retirement? So he's feeling a little anxious, and, you know, Rita's kind of just thinking about the next thing, like, how do I get Madame Roger now, since, you know, everything she's tried already has failed, and the evil brain is trying to convince her, like, you know, join my team, let's really think about this, let's team up, we can destroy any of our enemies if we work together. I forgot the context of what happened next. I know Rita takes a butter knife and starts unloosening, the evil brain, well, the robot man, helmet. So I forgot what happens entirely. I know it was only been like 20 minutes ago since I watched it, but I already forgot. So I apologize, but I'm pretty sure he's just left out of commission. I could be wrong though. So back in the manor, what's going on is that I want to say this is a scene where Jane successfully gets the personality back to Kay's mind, but since Kay's mind was kind of like caved in a couple episodes ago in a metaphoric sense, they start trying to like clear the way so they can head back inside. Jane heads back over. And it turns out also, before we go, is the deal that Jane had to make to get everyone back so that the psychiatrist personality can lead them back inside Kay, was that Jane had to give up being the primary. Which is debatable, since, like, well, you were picked by Kay. Can you just give up the title? And Jane's like, I don't know. I had to do this for the betterment of Kay. I'll focus on that part later on. So Jane takes over. Victor and them head out to where the time machine's back in with Madame Roger. And also, I forgot that the freaking time machine has like a narration about like what the mindset of the time travel is and like what's going on. Oh man, that's just hilarious. Continuing from that point onwards, so Madame Roger comes back, but she goes for the time machine again, so that means she loses her memories. But however, before she left a very detailed note about everything that's happened to her, so that she understands what she needs to know in this current mindset, so that she can like move forward with things. Just getting like hilarious, response that Jane dressed like a sock pocket. You get like a giant ass robot on the team, and before I forget, Cliff goes back to his daughter's home to kind of trying to make amends and to figure out like what's really going to happen now between them. And it seems like they're kind of still in a decent place. It's just they really want him to focus on his Parkinson's right now and get that fixed up. But Cliff's a giant robot now, so it's not really a problem. Actually, it is a problem because by the time Cliff heads back to the manor, he loses control because of his Parkinson's. So he starts just walking towards the town. So they're really screwed here. Jane teleports inside the robot to try and help. Victor just starts sprinting towards them because, I don't know, maybe the power of vocals can save the day. Larry comes back for her, but possessed by the negative baby, so he starts going after him, but he doesn't really help that much, to be honest with you. And Madame Roger starts to realize, like, okay, this team could be the team to finally give me the redemption I needed. But before she starts to head out there and to help the others, Rita comes in and is like, no, you are not helping. You're not doing anything anymore. You're done. And before she's about to pick up her note again to remember her notes on Rita, Rita's like, don't look at your notes. I want you to look in my eyes, my cold, dead eyes, and I want you to remember everything you've done to me. And she does, and she's starting to see things from a different perspective. And it's like, I destroyed your life. I destroyed the love of your life. And then it contemplates and Rita said, like, is this what she really wants to do? She's aware of the situation at hand. And back in the robot, Jane's trying her best to get this to work, to get the machine to stop. But it turns out she activates the self-destruction switch. So they're all going to die. And sadly to say, Cliff's first target is a damn soccer game in the middle of the night. Damn. But however, there is still hope because Rita decides to finally fully begin to really tap into her powers. As Elastic Woman, I guess that's her official superhero title in the comics, I believe. And she turns all giant, like kind of like how Kamala Khan does in the Avengers game. And I know the comics as well. I know that. It works. It gets Cliff to stop, and they manage to calm him down. And the police start showing, which I'm like, great. I wonder how they're going to explain this one. Which we don't. They just cut back to the manor. The news report just said they're just a team of superpowered eccentrics that saved the town by also almost causing what almost destroyed the town. Well, not really directly, but just indirectly, if that makes sense. But hearing the words, hearing their like what they're being called, Rita's kind of like using this as the opportunity to state that why should we just let them keep labeling us? Because we're still here. We can label ourselves. We can be something more. We don't have to just be super powered individuals that are eccentric about saving people. No, we can be something more. We can actually be a team. And everyone's like, oh, great, here we go again. This is another like bullshit. Like, you're doing what the same that the chief did. You want us to be a superhero team. But this time is a little bit different. They've been through so much the last 3 seasons where like, yeah, in earlier season they were like, fuck, we are not this Doom Patrol. We are not this team that you want us to be. But at the same time, they've grown a lot this season, especially with themselves. And, figuring out these new layers about themselves, figure out what they need to become to be better from their past selves. So yeah, they're all down to do it. And Dim Mills wants to stick around and try to, really work on herself and actually, be an actual contributing member to society. And everyone agrees, and Cliff's like, yeah, I already have the team name, Doom Force. Which I'm like, you couldn't just stick with Doom Patrol? I mean, it's catchy. And literally every time Power Rangers does something with their season, it's literally as easy as like, here's the general genre, and then we add Force. That's literally all they do. Like, Wow Force, Time Force, Mystic Force, Mega Force. I think that was a damn. That wasn't that much. Never mind. I should really take that back. I'll take that comment back. Um. So yeah, so they decide they want, so because at the same time as they're making this announcement, like, we are now officially a team. They get their first real big mission. A freaking testicle monster has appeared in the middle of the ocean, attacking a boat of people. Which I'm like, great, I welcome the challenge. So they want to use one of the personalities' power to teleport them to this ocean to go fight this freaking scrotum monster. But sad to say, Jane is getting knocked unconscious by the time the personalities get fully back into Kay's mind. So now it's like a power struggle again, but not really, because the psychologist is there and she's like, we're back in. We move back into this home. Now it's time for you to bring up your end of the bargain, which is, of course, Jane giving her the primary power. But however, they do. But meanwhile, that's going to take a while because the Doom Patrol are getting set up to go on their first official mission by having Cliff just attach himself to the time machine drill. So all of them are going to lose their memories. But no, they wrote like freaking name tags on their head and writing on a sheet of freaking graph paper, like that freaking big ass drawing paper, just saying, here, we're a team, this is the rules, this is what we're doing, remember, and let's go. And they're ready for their first mission. Again, I still don't know what the hell Victor's gonna do without his power, what Jane's gonna do being knocked out, or what Demills really does except turning into a bird. But okay. But this is a team now. This is a team, and they're off on their first mission, and they head off to the great unknown to start off their new lives. And that ends the third season of Doom Patrol. So, for me, like I said in the beginning, I really like the way they left everything up at the end to kind of like set this up for like, it's a new dynamic. It's a whole new like area of like, possibilities for season 4. Kind of something that Legends of Tomorrow kept going as it went along, having new cast members and changing like what's the real threat this season, how do we keep like making things even more like interesting, because like the longer you go, the more you like, as much as I love Doom Patrol and like these characters getting into like random social situations and them learning these lessons that they don't really fully accept because they're fucked up individuals. This season actually really pushed them to their limits, and they actually finally learned for a change that there's something more than their old-fashioned selves that require them to actually grow the fuck up. So that's one of the aspects I loved about this season, and this finale definitely sold it on that, like finishing up those things, having Larry be the dad he was meant to be, Jane finally letting down her like. She's still going to be full of bullshit, but like she's like seeing the bigger picture now. Cliff finally getting a little mellowed out. I really hope we don't get a full out mellowed out Robot Man. I can't live with that. I can't. And Rita finally stepping up to be the leader of this team. Like, regardless of what you say, she is the leader. She's kind of like this the centric figure of the team, and she's really going to be hammering home the idea of us being a team, and it's definitely this is all interesting for like what we're gonna see next time. But for me as a fan for this finale, I enjoyed it very much. Again, I shouldn't be surprised we don't get like a traditional final battle in superhero shows. I really is. I think the MCU shows have kind of spoiled me a little bit on that now, because I'm expecting like this big action fighting. It's like, oh, they have a bigger budget, that's why. That really is the case there. But no, I loved everything, and I can't wait to see what more. And also, I'm really curious. Like, they're gonna have to put Cliff back in the Robot Man body at some point, because the CG on that is a lot. Let's not be funny here. Like, that CG is gonna cost them a lot of money if they're gonna do it all over again next season for the entire run. So they're gonna put him back. They're gonna have a solution to this, but we're all gonna have to find out till next year to figure it out. But for me, again, I enjoyed this finale very much. Solid way to wrap up this very still debating on season, but until then, I'm going to give this episode 2 thumbs up. I really enjoyed it, and that for me, everyone, was the end of our season 3 episode reviews for Doom Patrol. But it's not the end for us at Doom Patrol here. Oh, it's not the end for us. We're talking about Doom Patrol, because remember, next week we'll be doing our season 4 predictions video, which will be spoiling everything about season 3 and where do I want to see these characters go for a 4th season. And then the week afterwards, we're going to be doing our season 3 review. No spoilers at all. So anyone who has yet to watch Doom Patrol season 3 can just watch it. So this is kind of our new format because like I usually didn't like it when like I would do the straight run. Then I was like, okay, bye everyone. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. It's not fair to y'all. So now you guys are going to go first. And then all the newcomers who are still going to start over will come over next time. Well, the next week. And then afterward, that wraps up our Doom Patrol run for 2021. And then we'll be back hopefully next year on time for season 4. But that's hopefully the goal. But if you're also curious what else is going on, what's in the tube, we're doing Walker season 2 episode reviews each and every Friday mornings normally because of Doom Patrol. We punted that back to Saturday, but it'll be back on Friday next week. So we do that every app. There are brand new episode on Thursday nights on the CW, free the next day on the CW app. We're also doing Nancy Drew season 3 episode reviews each and every Sunday mornings after brand new episode on Friday nights on the CW or free the next day on the CW app. And we're also doing the Rookie season 4 episode reviews each and every Monday mornings after brand new episode on Sunday nights on ABC or on Hulu the next day. We're also doing Stargirl reviews each and every Wednesday mornings, normally after brand new episode on Tuesday nights on the CW or free the next day on the CW app. Next week for that is our final one, our season 2 review, no spoilers, and that wraps up our Stargirl commitment. We're wrapping up on DC time here on What's in the Tube again. It's a bummer, but hopefully we'll have many more stuff to talk about next year. And then once this month's over, it'll just be Walker, Nancy Drew, and Rookie for the foreseeable future. I haven't made the 2022 schedule yet, but there's a couple of interesting prospects there. I'll say that much. But again, if you don't care about Doom Patrol, we'll see y'all next week. But until then, again, this has been What's the Tube from ActionX. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionX videos. Ring that bell for notification for our next review, which normally for Doom Patrol would be every single Saturday mornings. Please also ring that bell for notifications. Please also like, favorite, share this review if you want to. But it helps us gets us out to other members of the fan patrol who have yet to discover us. Helps us beat up that YouTube algorithm that hates me ever so much in life, and as well as sharing us for free here on the interweb. I forgot my tea. Please also follow social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates for the channel. But until then, I'll see y'all next week for the season 4 prediction video. But until then, stay safe out there, be good to each other. But however, again, if this is the end of the road for now, if you're just here for the episode reviews, thank you so much for sticking around again for another year. I'll see y'all in season 4 next year. But until then, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out.